Hey, good morning. So what we're doing today is moving this strike plate from its current position down about 1/4 of an inch, because whenever you shut the door, you're able to open it back up again. So the lock will work, but it's just that whenever you push the door, it opens up easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark a line right down in here, score that, the paint so I can see it, and then I'm going to take the strike plate off, cut or chisel out this right down in here, that about 1/4 inch material or so, put that strike plate back in, and we'll see if the door closes. So what I'm doing is just taking my chisel and marking or scoring rather that line across the end right there. Everything don't have to be perfect when you're doing this kind of small kind of thing. Alright, so I can see that line down through there. Now y'all see that? Yeah. See that line right down through there. Now what I'm going to do is just take that strike plate off. That strike plate just served as a reference. Saturday today, you guys. I had pancakes this morning. They didn't turn out like they usually do because I tried something different. I didn't put as much milk in there. It came out fluffy, but didn't get a big yield out of it as we normally do. Alright. So be careful when you're pulling this out not to chip any paint. There you go. That's your strike plate. This is an older one. You can tell it's all weathered. It's supposed to look like that, but years of wear and tear got to it. Alright, so that's our strike plate. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to take my chisel and my wooden hammer. You can use this kind of hammer. I mean, it's not a big deal as long as you have this plate at the bottom of the chisel. That transfers. You can see that rod going up the middle there. That transfers the energy from the back to the front. But if you got like a wooden one on the back, I wouldn't suggest doing this. But I use a wooden hammer anyway because it just, for me, it prolongs the life. It looks cool. It's one of those carpenter tools that aren't used very much. But I'll just simply come along the bottom down here along that scored line. And I'll just hammer in there ever so lightly. It's not a race. And you definitely want to keep in mind that you don't want to split the jam up anyway, so that's why I'm being gentle here. And I'll just come down flush with this surface right here, so I'll just come down and start peeling that stuff out. There we go. Looky there. Oh yeah. And I don't like to use any tools going down this way unless I'm starting way up here and I'm chiseling down, because right here, if you hammer down too much, you want to split this side of the wood, and all this is going to be ripped out. There you go. Yeah. It's coming out there really nice. Good. Alright. So I've come about down as far as I want to with that. You can see that the holes aren't lining up. The holes aren't lining up there. The paint just came off right there. That's fine. We got to paint anyway. Get that out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nail and this hammer now, and I'm going to do what you would normally use this as, like a, you would pre-drill a hole or something like that. I'm just going to use a nail for it. And what this allows me to do is just use as little tools as possible with the maximum what's it called? Effectiveness. There we go. Just want to go down far enough so that screw can catch on it. Not too steep of an angle there. Get my screws down here again. Right. First screw started, just hold that latch in place. Straight plate rather. Follow this up one. Okay, that's not working how I intended it to. It's that too steep of an angle. So what I'm going to do is get some toothpicks. I'm going to put them in these holes right here, break them off at the source, or right there, flush with the edge of the plane, because there's too much going on right here. You see these holes? It's just too much. You're not going to be able to get a good hold on the strike plate. Alright, so I didn't have any toothpicks. So what I'm doing is just taking the things that I chiseled off down here. I'm taking those and I'm putting them in these holes. Just going to hammer them in. There you go. So now the holes ain't perfect, but they're going to do the job that they're meant to do. Here we go. All right. I'm just going to screw this in there. Right straight in. Making sure those fit. I'm going to get my alignment with my nail here. Start me a hole there. Start me a hole there. Going straight in. Alright. Good. Alright. Now what I'm looking for in these screws is that the faces of the screw is flush with that strike plate right there. That's much, much better. Alright. So you don't get perfect every time. And that's what I like about this job, is that you just get to say, hey, what works? And how can we do it the right way without cutting any corners or anything like that? Make sure that there's quality in the end. Alright, now check that out. It's getting in there pretty tight, and that's how I know that that little solution I had with the wood in there, you know, where I was going to use toothpicks, some kind of wood. I would probably use some glue with it too. I don't have any here with me, so that works just as good though, because when the thread goes in there into the wood, it pushes that wood out as it goes. So that in itself is a type of, I guess, not adhesive, but just friction will hold that thing in. See, that thing ain't going nowhere. Alright, so now we've dropped that down some. You can see a little hole back in there. What I'll do is I'll chisel that out, because if not, that latch is going to catch on that, and then that's not what we want. I need me a smaller. Actually, anyway, here we go. There we go. Yeah, much better. Making a series of cuts down in there. Then I'm going to take my screwdriver and get it out that way. Because by that time, it'll just be ready to come out. Or just do it with the back of the chisel like that. Perfect. Alright. What was that, plan E? Alright. Like how it's turning out. Good. Alright, let's check the door. You come here and say hey?
Yeah. Hey. Hey.
Yeah, are you cute? Are you cute?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi. 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 Hey. Hey. Hey.
Alright. And
They're hurting this.
let's put some filler in there so whenever we go back and paint it, it'll be that seamless transition right in there.
Hi.
So what I used was this plastic wood. It's a wood filler. If you got some stain that you want to match, you can look for wood putty. They're usually colored. The wood filler is not usually colored, and that was an interior exterior mix. So whenever I'm on jobs, I need to put that on exterior. I got that as well.
Hi.
Hey baby.
Da.
All right, so the door shuts good. It locks. It doesn't open by itself again, and we only put it down about a 3/16, quarter of an inch or so, and it works like a charm.
Hi.
You gonna tell them bye now?
No.
Yeah, tell them bye.
Bye.
Say love you.
I love you.